All right, everyone. BlueMax here with Warcraft Rumble. Today we're going to go over leveling tips and tricks. But first, I've got some kind of sobering numbers for everybody, and that is how much gold does it take to completely max out an account. Now, before I show you this number, it's a big number. It's over 500,000 once you factor everything in. I want you to bear in mind that you don't need to max out everything in order to have a good experience. So if you focus on just a core of about 5 to 7 liters and a handful 15 20 minis, you can have a really solid experience in the game. Hang on one second. Okay, so I put together the sheet of how much gold it takes to level up, and kind of trying to get an idea of how this looks on screen. Oh, forgot to transition it. There we go. All right, fantastic. So it takes 6,500 gold to get all your minis to common, and that factors in 44. Actually, I got the numbers broken down a little bit better here. That's 44 minis, 10 spells, and 14 liters, and how much gold it takes to unlock them, because it's only a single star to unlock the unit. And we're going to talk in a bit about how that impacts collection level. But let's just go over the numbers real quick, and then we'll kind of unpack them some more. It's 3 times the amount to go from common to uncommon, and that's because it takes 3 stars. Now, once that happens, you do have to upgrade the unit from common to uncommon, and that costs some arclight energy, but we'll cover that in another video. But there's no core, so there's no other constraints. And once that happens, you get the option to purchase talents. And talents used to just flood the grid. If you bought a bunch of units, they flooded really fast in the grid, but that has been reduced somewhat, so you can be a little bit more casual in your talent purchase. But really important, pay careful attention to what talent you purchase first, because once you do, you've locked that talent in for that mini until you have upgraded from uncommon to rare, and that takes 10 stars. So it's 10 times as hard to upgrade from rare as it is to unlock, and that is a whopping 65,000 in gold. And bear in mind that it is about $99.99 in US dollars to purchase 12,000 in gold. So right there, you know that to get to rare is over $500. But you don't have to get everything to rare immediately. You can take your time, do your campaign, do your heroics, do your surges, and over time you'll get there. So it's only the whales that just have to get there immediately. And so it in the shop, it does cost 250 gold to purchase rare cores, but bear in mind that as you enter into heroics, you're going to start unlocking rare cores as you go. In addition, rare cores are available in the PvP track, and maybe once a week, twice a week, they are available as daily rewards for just playing the game. So you don't have to gobble up every rare core you see in the game shop. Now that does differ a bit with the epic core, which is 1,000 gold. Those are going to come a lot slower. Hold on a second. Those are going to come a lot slower because they're not available as daily rewards. You're guaranteed one through clan or guild rewards, and you will unlock probably 3 or 4 of them as you progress later into the heroics. Oh, and by the way, to my live viewers, feel free to chat and ask questions, and I will answer them on the fly. And if I can't answer the information, then I'll write it down. I'll write down your question and I'll review it and hopefully add it in a future video. Okay, so anyway, you get the idea. It costs a lot of gold to max everything out, but again, this is not a game that you don't have to reach end game in a few weeks. It is meant to be played over a very long period of time. And honestly, I think at least for me, if I had just bought my way to everything being capable of being legendary, then I would lose some of the experience. That being said, I do have a pretty established account. Let's see, I have 5 minis that are completely maxed out. I have used 2 of my 3 legendary cores. I did that on Rend and Whelp Eggs. No, I did that on Rend and Harpies. My Whelp Eggs, Safe Pilot, Old Murkai, and Warsong Grunts are all maxed. The Grunts, that was an epic offer when I defeated Onyxia last week. That would not have been my first choice, but they're nevertheless an interesting unit, and I think they will find their niche in time, so I'm not too terribly worried. Now, I'm going to flip over the tab here, and I've put together a fun little spreadsheet. I like spreadsheets. I've put together a fun little spreadsheet for tracking the Aramis account that I'm currently using for this session. And what I did is I've got every mini in the game having its own row. And here, I'm going to go ahead and sort by rarity. So we get all of our owned minis right up here. And so what I did is I've specified their rarity. I've specified what level they are, whether they have a talent or not, and how many stars. That is how far I've progressed on this unit, moving to the next level. And so what the spreadsheet will do, for example, take a look at Baron Rivendare here, and his level is 8, but oh, that's embarrassing. I didn't look. That isn't right. That's spreadsheet is not. No, it is. It is. My bad. So Baron Rivendare is level 8, but from an XP standpoint, he's only level 6. Why? Because you gain a level by increasing the rarity, and you gain a single level per talent you own. So in reality, he's only level 6, even though he functionally behaves as level 8. And what I further did is I'm using this to track my collection level. And I've verified it that the math matches up with what is actually in game. And so basically, when you obtain a unit, you gain 5 collection level points, and you get a single collection level point for every XP level you get. And so I've tallied all that information in this column, and then I have over here a summary. So on my Aramis account, I own 14 minis. Of those 14 minis, 13 are at common, 1's at uncommon, and I have no rare epics or legendaries. And so I've added up all the collection points, and then using a couple of simple formulas, basically I know I'm at collection level 4, and I am 4 out of 50 toward the next level. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to minimize this spreadsheet. We're going to pull up the game. All right. 1 second, if you please. Okay. So I went ahead and I bought the Arclight booster. So I've now got 1,500 in gold. And on top of that, I also have this legendary value Hogger's Horde. And incidentally, this really is a good value. So look, it comes with 2 megatomes. So That means 5 minis, and based upon my present collection level, I'm tapping on the wrong button. There we go. Based upon my present collection level, a Megatome gives 130 XP. Now, but what I would like to do is I would like to boost my collection level before I buy this, and I'm going to use the gold that I have from the Arclight boost and from running the messages I've done correct so far. Hello, Arclight Battery. How are you this evening, sir? Doing all right. Just basically going through. So I've bought the. I assume you just popped in on the stream. So I've bought the Arclight boost, and I'm about to go grid shopping to increase my collection level because we've got this Hogger's Horde, which is actually not a bad deal. Because again, the what I'm planning to do with this game is any offer that shows up on this part of the shop, if so long as I like it, I'm going to purchase it. I'm just not going to come down here and buy gold, and I'm not going to do any of the special offers that show up later. But we're going to focus on doing this in the most efficient way, because maybe your thought is, well, I want to buy that Hogger's Horde now, but why don't we first increase our collection level using the gold we have so that we will get even more XP out of those megatomes. That's the plan. So how to go about using the grid, especially on an account like this where you're not free to play, so you're going to have a bit of gold, but you're not going to be swimming in gold either. So it's going to play out a little bit differently. Plus, at this stage, the easiest route is to increase our collection level by obtaining all the minis. Now, we do have a particularly strong free to play player in the Diablo Gaming Guild, DX Abomni, and he, or is it Subnami? He very slowly acquired minis so that the tomes only provided XP for the minis he was actually using. Um, because we're kind of in the middle there, we're not a whale and we're not really a dolphin either, but we're not free to play. We're going to go ahead and we're going to try to collect every mini on the grid. Um, because for every 10 minis we collect, we're going to increase our collection level. Actually, it'll be even greater than that because you get a certain amount of XP every time you obtain a mini. So I'm going to show, so if you are spending a lot of money and you are being very specific about what minis you want, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to move the grid around to where you basically remove as many things as you possibly can. Um, and so the way you do that, so for example, because I have General Drac and I plan to use General Drac as we enter into heroic campaigns, I definitely want the Frost Wolf Shaman. So what I'm going to do is I move the Shaman to the middle. I'm going to move the Smoke Bomb down below it. And now, if I tap on the Shaman, every mini in the grid except for the Ogre is going to disappear. The reason why is because it's touching the mini I'm purchasing. So I'll show it right here. Okay, so I have the Shaman, and we should increase our collection level by 9. And the reason why, and we did, the reason why is because we obtained a mini and we added, and that mini starts off at level 4. So that's 4 plus 5, or 5 plus 4, so equals 9. Now, we are immediately presented with, an interesting offer here. We have the Green Abomination. And this could kind of go both ways, because whenever you get a green offer, it's actually going to be 4 stars, because it's going to be the star to acquire the mini and the 3 stars to get it up to common. In addition to that, we are going to bypass the use of Arclight energy. And Arclight energy is going to be a limiting factor later in the game. Now, when the Arclight battery and I both started playing Rumble at the very beginning of soft launch, Arclight energy was a little different. It was 50 energy to go from common to uncommon. Now it's 500. So that's a significant amount. That's several dungeon runs, probably about 3 or 4. So I'm very, very tempted to go ahead and do this. I'm going to go ahead and buy it, even though I don't use Abomination that much, and I don't even plan to use it here. And here's why: he's high health, he's high damage. He's really an effective unit, but he costs a lot. 5 gold in the game, so it's a very, very expensive unit. You have to build your team around this unit using much lower gold cost, because otherwise you're going to it's going to be very difficult to push with this particular unit. So I'm not gonna rush to pick up Pyromancer. Pyromancer is one of the very strongest units in the game, but that's also kind of why I don't want to use it, because I'm trying to go with kind of more misfits that don't typically get selected. So I'm going to go ahead and move Raptors over, and we're going to purchase Abomination. That's a lot of gold, but saving. I'm saving 90 gold because I'm going to get Abomination to uncommon. That's part of my big goal, and that is to get everything to uncommon. So purchased. As you can see, he has a lot of health. All right. So that bumped up our collection level significantly. Now, I'm going to avoid purchasing a talent. This is not necessarily the best talent for Abomination, but I don't plan to play him. And so long as the talents don't clog the grid, I'm going to avoid buying those talents, because I'm going to try to be savvy with my money. Plague Farmer is a mini I really want. I don't already have. I really want Plague Farmer. He's very interesting. He's got a 10 range with the right talent, 2 cost of gold, and is a very hard and effective counter for Huntress. And Huntress is very solid in PvP. So we're going to go ahead and move, because again, I'm demonstrating how to be very efficient with the grid. And I really like Necromancer, and Necromancer is one of my favorite units for my main, which again is why we're going to skip that unit for now. Got it. Okay. Okay. I don't really like Living Bomb. I already have Griffin, but yeah, I am kind of using Griffin a lot. I'm going to go ahead and purchase it, and it's already in a T configuration, so this is great. I don't have to move anything, and I'm going to reset the entire grid. Done. Okay. Oh, this is sickening. So I just got my first rare offer. Skeleton Party. Man, no, can't do it. If this was an account where I was like chucking 36,000 gold up front, and incidentally, that's pretty close to what I did when I built out my main. Yeah, right. Yeah. I'm sure you agree with me, Arclight. I'm gonna pass Skeleton Party 4 gold. It is Unbound. It's a decent unit, but we're not going to be swimming in gold. We're not going to be swimming in gold on this account, so I just can't. I can't do it. Okay, so Arclight battery says, ooh, and it looks like I should probably move. Yeah, I apologize. I am still learning a lot about casting. All right, so unfortunately, Arclight's comments aged out, so I'm going to read them out loud. He said, I've had Rare Skeleton Party on my main account at least 3 times, and I've still not bought it. Haha. Yeah, I'm with you there. I'm going to go ahead and skip it as well. I'm going to purchase the Firehammer. Firehammer is a really, really good BlackRock unit. It's single target elemental damage, fantastic for anti-air, also really good for Onyxia. It's not a unit that I've used heavily on my main, so I'm going to go ahead and pick it up. Although I may regret not picking up an additional Shaman, because down the road I'm going to want Shaman at Uncommon. Shaman is super good with General Drac. So, yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna skip. And Huntress, I'm gonna skip Huntress right now because I use her very heavily on my main, and so she's not quite a misfit. All right, here we go. Okay. So our collection level is up to 4 and 45, so we're getting very close to a level up. And that's good. We want to do that as many times as we can before we buy that Hogger option. Banshee is going to be good down the road, but it doesn't have to be super high level in my opinion. Vultures. So yeah, we're gonna have to pick up Vultures. Vultures is kind of a misfit. In fact, we may even use it as a substitute for Harpies on this account. So I'm gonna spend the 20 gold to move Pyro to the right and move Ogre, who I don't know. I'm actually tempted to focus more on Ogre this time as a substitute for Huntress. It's a high health elemental unit. It doesn't have resist like Huntress does, but it's got some really cool attributes, just like in the old Warcraft 2 game I played in my teenage years. The Ogre Mage will cast Bloodlust on a nearby ally. We're going to go ahead and buy Vultures, and then we're going to get Ogre Mage. And we just got to level up. Oh, well, no, level up on Vultures, and we got account level bumped up. And 75 gold. So our new mini bonus bumps up, our tomes bump up. In fact, let's go ahead and take a look at what it is. Let's go up here, and our megatome, our megatome went from 130 to 165. So you can see right here, that is 35 multiplied by 5 times 2. I'm really gonna have to do math. 35 times 5, 71, 41, 75 times 2 would be 350. So that's 350 XP more. And early on in the game, that's going to make a significant difference. Now, down the road, you know, when you're at collection level 30 or 40, that's trivial. But early on, it's going to make a significant difference. We're going to be able to progress faster through the campaign that way. Okay. So, So we got harpies. We've got. So what are you thinking, Arclight? What do you think I should do here? Now remember, I'm not planning to use harpies. Like my goal is to not play harpies. Wait. Okay. I think you were being facetious. I think we obviously use the XP gem to buy the smoke bomb. Yeah, so just a recap for Arclight Battery, as well as for anyone else who didn't watch the first video. My goal is to not use Harpies, Whelp Eggs, Quillbore, or Earth Elemental. since they are so strong in campaign. You can we use the term cheese. You can cheese a lot. Um, I don't know. I may still do it because it's going to boost our collection level. I think I'm going to for that purpose. That sound good? All right, I'm going to move the Ogre Mage over. You think Necro is a good pickup? Okay. Yes, I'm going to buy Harpies. So I like Necro as well. It's one of my favorite units. But in the spirit of trying more misfit type units, such as Harvest Golem, Plague Farmer, maybe even Ogre Mage, Vultures, I'll pick up Necro at some point, but I'm not going to be maining it. I'm not going to be pushing it hard. Yeah, that's just going to kind of be a little bit of a handicap for this run. I may go ahead and pick up Smoke Bomb as well because that is not a unit that I use a lot on my main account. So I'll get Necro eventually. I just want to reset the board as many times. So here we go. All right, and it got Harpies up to level 7. So Harpies would be really nasty now. Ooh, ooh. Now, if I really wanted to hamstring myself, I would buy the Talon Dive Talent. Give me just 1 second. Come in. Checking to see if you're still here. I'm here. All right. Streaming. I'm still working, but okay. So Arclight Battery and I are in the same guild. I tell you what, yes, I'm streaming from work. Oh yeah, this is I couldn't possibly do this if I was at home. No way. So yeah, what's amazing about it? So Arclight, one thing one of us should figure out. We both belong to the same guild, to Diablo Gaming. Ah, yeah, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, but you don't have bunches of kids at home, that would disrupt and interrupt. So maybe it's maybe there's less disruptions in your home. Yep, yep. But yeah, I do have a nice office, and I can definitely deck it out as much as I want. That's fair. But what I was gonna say is I know that back in the PO the Prisoner of War days in beta, that Spanner had the POW server set up so that people could jump into a Discord voice chat and they could just provide verbal commentary uh, going through videos. We ought to figure that out. That could be a lot of fun for certain videos. At least I think so. All right, but yeah, yeah. Actually, this would kind of be a fun one to do it with. You know what? You're the only live viewer. Yeah, no, not a problem. So we're gonna go ahead and pause. We're gonna go ahead and pause this video right quick, and not pause. We're gonna end this video, and in part 2 we'll continue on. But I'm going to go hop into Discord and figure out if it's something that I can figure out quick, how to add additional commentary to the videos within our guild. So thank you so much for viewing.